Yo, what's going on, y'all? It's the best, and we're back with another Pokemon video. Now, Limitless has returned to tournament formats once again, and the first deck that took first place in the recent online series is the Centiskorch list. Now, a lot of people have been saying Centiskorch is not a top tier deck, all this other stuff, and it's tough not to agree with that. I mean, the list or Centiskorch in general is a very interesting deck. Of course, it has changed drastically. A lot of the things are still kind of the same. You have the Volcanion to set up, and then your main attacker, which is the Centiskorch VMAX for the GMAX Inferno, doing 40 damage for each fire energy attached to this Pokemon, and then being able to attach another fire energy from your discard pile. Now, you would think like getting, fire into your discard pile is like the best way to go. I mean, and it helps out with that next turn, but just getting all that fire and then just doing it consistently over and over and over and over again is very interesting. It takes a lot. But this list did win. I played against Baby Bucephalon. I don't think I'll be kind of throwing that list. I'm not really a fan of Baby Bucephalon too much, but yeah, so this is kind of the generic list, so let's go ahead and take a look at it. So like I said before, you do have the 3-3 line of Centiskorch V and VMAX. Kind of typical. Sometimes you'll see the 4-4 line, sometimes you will just see this 3-3 line, but it's what else ends up coming with the list. We have the Heatran-GX, pretty normal. I mean, most of the time you do get a Centiskorch set up, and then you can put that Heatran down using that Burning Road ability to get all those energy onto the Heatran and get a lot of one-hit knockouts if set up properly. You also have the one of the Crobat. I mean, just for darkest asset, what more can you say? The Cramorant V being able to snipe 162 your opponent's bench Pokemon. What else can you say? I mean, it one-shots a Dedenne, and it's only a 2-prizer. Eldegoss V being able to get your supporters back from your discard pile, the boss's orders, the welders, the research. Very, very great card in that aspect. Sometimes you do just need that boss for that last turn, and it's just like, oh, all of them are in the discard pile. I still got my Eldegoss V in my hand. Throw it down. There you go. That's game. And then the rest is kind of simple. Dedenne does Dedenne things. Jirachi, which has kind of fallen off a lot since the rotation has hit, because it did lose his best friend, the escape board. And then, of course, the Giratina with the Dimension Breach. And then outside of that, you do have the Fire Crystal, Pokémon Communication, Quick Ball, Reset Stamp. It's kind of generalized item cards here. And then, of course, the Giant Hearth. And then the 11 fire energy. So let's go ahead. Let's take a look at the deck. All right, so we got our first matchup here. Let's go ahead and hopefully that we can actually kind of win this. Like I said, Centiskorch, when I first saw it, I thought it would actually be one of those kind of top tier decks. We actually want to go second here because of Volcanion. But when I first saw it, I thought it would be very top tier. It'd be one of those decks that everybody will try to go after, just because it has almost I want to say an unlimited ceiling, but it does have a very high ceiling as far as damage that can be output. But for whatever reason, it's just starting to fall off more and more and more. So that is, I want to say, more an issue, but it hasn't been living up to, I guess, what everybody thought it would end up doing. And I know I say this even though it did just win a Limitless tournament online, but outside of that, it just hasn't seen that much play. There's been a ton of variations for it, and it's just been very interesting to see. So to be honest, it looks like we kind of have everything we need. We can go get the Volcanion, but outside of that, the hand is terrible. And I don't know if it'll be better just to go get the Volcanion and kind of just call it a day, and then just hope that we live off the top deck, because we do have everything we would need for our next couple turns here. We can Giant Hearth away a fire energy, and then kind of get started from there. Not sure if the Heatran-GX will be great in this matchup, but it possibly can one-hit knockout at Eternatus V. So I think what we'll end up doing is just going ahead and playing the Giant Hearth down. Getting rid of one of the fire energy, get 2 out, and then we'll discard another one. And it's tough to say what I want to do here, because I might want to just Crobat, but maybe we'll just go ahead and just quick ball. I mean, we do have the setup, at least going in the next couple turns where we will be straight. We could get a Jirachi too, And that's probably what would have been the best option there. I think we'll just go ahead and set up. I mean, they didn't do much on their hand, to be honest. So for now, I think we'll just go ahead and do this and flare starter. No point on bossing up the Eternatus. Let's just force them to find a way to get out of the active. And yeah, so I mean, next turn we do have Centiskorch VMAX. Most likely we will probably lose our Volcanion here, and I'm pretty sure they probably have a Crobat V in their hand. There's no reason for them to get rid of it from that last turn, so they must have something. All right, so there's the attachment. Yep. So yeah, they had some sort of they had something, so that kind of made sense on why they got rid of the Crobat. Absol, that's fine. I mean, it's like we do play a lot of switch cards. We do play a lot of scoop up nets, or actually there's only 2 or 3 scoop up nets currently. So not really too worried about getting stuck in the active if we do. All right, so they don't have really anything they can do here. That's good. So we could just actually, no, we wouldn't get the knockout here if we did that way. So we could actually boss up one of these Eternatus back here and start swinging, which actually doesn't sound terrible. Because we would be doing, what is this, 160 if we attach energy here. 160, so we'll be doing about 200 damage here if we did that, and then that would also already start putting some kind of pressure on them. So I think that's actually what we'll end up doing here. So we will scoop up the Volcanion. It does suck that we will be going down to a pretty low hand. We don't need the Volcanion anymore. It's kind of served its purpose here. We'll attach here, boss up this Eternatus, and put him down and just start swinging at it. Yeah, so now we're just going to put damage towards it. I mean, it doesn't have another Eternatus set up currently. It is possible that they might get one started on this current turn. You know, possibly just do power accelerated to this bench Eternatus right here, and then kind of just leave it there, or they'll Milano it off. That is another possibility. Did not think about that. All right, which is fine for now. Most likely that's probably a Crobat V in their hand, or they're just passing for the turn, and they just pass. Okay. All right, that's perfect. So I believe we don't have too much fire energy left in our deck. We do have Fire Crystal, so we can probably get rid of this and then get at least one more. I was kind of afraid of that. So currently we are knocking out this Eternatus VMAX almost, so we kind of might want to just do that here, use our Fire Crystal one time, and then we'll just attach to our bench Heatran here. Or do we want to get, yeah, we'll just do that. And then I think we'll actually Crobat for another. Yeah. I'll actually go for Crobat here. Get some more cards. And then I think this hand's actually fine. I think the only thing we would probably want to do is maybe get another Centiskorch out. Or maybe just get a Cramorant. The smart thing I actually probably would have done is to probably hold that. Yeah. Actually, for now, we'll get another. For now, we'll just get you out. No need to bench it currently. I mean, they're not going to be able to knock us out at the moment. Yeah, they can't knock us out. They're going to need at least, I want to say about, what is that, five Zigzagoons in order to knock us out here. So it'll probably be a little bit in peers. Okay. This card hasn't seen too much play this current format. You would think it would, just based off of the way it reads, you know, being able to search your deck for any kind of energy card and a dark Pokemon at the exact same time. Especially in a deck like this. But for whatever reason, it kind of hasn't seen that much play. All right, so here comes the Zigzagoon pings. Unless they have a bunch of Scoop Up Nets, they're not going to be able to get a knockout here. If they do decide to come up and swing at us with the Eternatus VMAX, we do knock that out. And currently we don't have anything else set up. Unfortunately, that will help us out with kind of doing a follow-up here. And that's pretty much the issue I probably should have thought about at the time. They're probably looking for a switch card or some sort of way to get out of the active, but they did not. So that's perfect. All right. So I think what we'll end up doing here, and like I said, we probably should have got the Eldegoss because we could have knocked this out, and there's nothing else they could have done here. So we will attach to this Centiskorch V and actually DAA change. Yeah, so that's definitely a misplay on my side because I definitely should not have done that way. I should have got the Eldegoss V when I had the quick ball, held on to the quick ball, and there was no point for us to do anything else there. So that is a misplay on myself. I guess we could probably just bench the Jirachi. All our Scoop Up Nets are down, and we are down to switch. So I think for now we'll just go ahead and just swing again. Do another one, and now we're kind of sitting pretty good, I would say. I think if we can, we will probably play down the Jirachi, switch into the Jirachi, use the Scoop Up Net, and find Boss's Order, and probably either this is tough actually. This is tough now because they are kind of getting into what I did not want to have happen here, and that's setting up a bunch of Eternatus Vs that are currently going on. So this is, again, this is what happened back I want to say about 2 plays ago, where I probably could have been in a better spot if I just held on to that quick ball. So sometimes it is better just to hold on to certain cards that you just end up getting. It would have been better. We held on to the Eldegoss, like I said, would have got the Boss's Order, and we would be swinging into this one, and then, you know, there'll still be some time before they're ready for the next one to go up. So I think we'll end up doing the play that I originally thought about, switching into the Jirachi, since we do have the Scoop Up Net. We do get a Fire Crystal, so I think what we'll do, we'll grab the Fire Crystal here, and we'll just kind of hold this hand now. Fire Crystal allows us to get the next Centiskorch VMAX ready and set up. We'll go ahead and send this guy back up and begin that. All right, so now it's kind of just like, what do you do from here on out, right? We definitely do need the Eldegoss V currently, but if they do decide to kind of come up and start swinging, there's kind of nothing they can do right now. They can keep doing the pings, but they need to get at least 3 more of these, and unless they play Scoop Up Nets, okay, there's a couple. All right, so I might have spoken a bit too soon here. You got another one? You got 2 more? All right, so without 2 more Scoop Up Nets, we can actually swing back into this, and I believe we're actually probably 1 energy off. 7, yeah, 280, 320. Yeah, so we are 1 fire energy off. But I believe if we actually retreat into our Heatran, we actually might be fine. Oh, they're gonna go for a Heatran probably. Yep, that was essentially a guaranteed knockout. But they don't know that I do. If they don't remember, I do have the Fire Crystal in hand, so at least be able to Welder 1 onto our Centiskorch, or we can just top deck like a boss and you know, restrict, kind of, you know, play our way out of this, even though we did already misplay in the beginning. All right, Pokemon Communication, so that allows us to get our other Dedenne that is most likely in the deck. It is. Let me double check before I do this, or actually, nah. So we do need a Dedenne because we need to replace the Giant Hearth. So I think if we actually hold off on using that Welder, we should be fine, because we can Fire Crystal attach here. We do need Giant Hearth to remove this, and then also Boss's Order will win this game, whichever one ends up happening. But we do need Giant Hearth and Boss's Order if we want to just kind of knock this one out the park. So actually, to be honest, no. So we'll bench the Dedenne, use Dedenne change. We do need to bump this stadium here, which we did not get. We can get rid of one of these to at least yeah, actually, never mind. There we go. Perfect. That, get rid of that, and we just swing, and that should be game. Yeah, because this is based off of the fact that he has to have a darkness energy attached there. So perfect. So this is not good. So most likely we are kind of playing against the Lucario Melmetal deck. That deck has been seen around pretty often, and it actually has been floating around for a very long time, or actually since I want to say for a very long time, but it has been floating around pretty often here. So that is just kind of a tough matchup if that is that deck. So what we'll end up doing is we'll go ahead and Welder one here just to be safe. Again, you probably could have done both, but it's fine. Attach here, and then probably just high heat flare starter and get this Centiskorch set up. We do have the Heatran that can take care of this Zamazenta. It would be nice to kind of get that if we can. Crobatting for one just doesn't feel good, and using 2 switches just to Crobat for more cards just doesn't feel like a good idea currently. So what we'll do, we'll just flare starter. We'll go ahead and set all 4 here. I think Heatran will pretty much be our go-to Pokemon during this kind of this one here, and then possibly Cramorant V as well, you know, just in case they decide they want to kind of like, you know, play around the Zamazenta. So there is that. So we'll see how this kind of goes. We do have more Volcanions. The Volcanions unfortunately do not knock out the Zamazentas, and this is actually ADP. Okay, so this is actually very well. We actually might be able to get pretty much might get a knockout here. We do need to be careful about what we bench now that we do know that it is ADP, because ADP likes to go for, you know, essentially boss game, 2 Dedennes or 1 Crobat and a Dedenne, however it kind of goes. So we do need to be careful. Our ideal start probably will be to knock out this Arceus, Dialga, and Palkia. But depending on what this list is, I mean, it does play Energy Switch, so they might be trying to get that turn to Alter Creation. So we'll see exactly how that goes. I want to say they might have messed themselves up. They did have Viridian Forest, so they're not able to get like, oh, they do have Energy Spinner, so they do have multiple ways to get that energy out. But I mean, it looks like they're kind of stuck at the moment almost. The good thing is we can just go up and hit them with Centiskorch's second attack here, get this Zamazenta out the way. They are kind of down a little bit, not a whole lot of resources. They still do have their Metal Saucer. They are down 1 Energy Switch, 2 Marnie are down, 1 Bosses are down, and yeah, so it looks like they were not able to get that turn 2, so that's good. And there's plenty of Pokemon down now that we are able to get exactly what we need. So I don't know, it might be better just swing with High Heat Blast maybe, because there's not really much they can do, and I don't want to get rid of too much in this hand. And we do need to be careful that we do get that Centiskorch set up though. So maybe we just swing with High Heat Blast unless we for sure can get the knockout here, because I believe we would need about 6 energy. So we could go for it, to be honest. 6 energy will guarantee us a knockout here. All right. Let's go for it. So we will get the Dedenne, or just actually get that Crobat back and then just do that. I don't want to bench another Dedenne, but I mean, I guess we probably will just end up having to. I like to avoid placing down as many Pokemon, and unfortunately we're not getting a knockout here. Do I want to place a Cramorant down? The Cramorant will be able to get us at least a knockout on a Dedenne at some point in time. I don't want to overbench myself either. So there's that. So I think we'll do this and then research the hand away. So we do have what we need to get at least a hit in here. So we'll do that. Go ahead and get the Centiskorch VMAX out. Zigzagoon is probably pointless here. It doesn't do enough of what we'll need because we're currently doing at least 240. We would need at least 4 Zigzagoon Poons, and maybe we just actually reset their hand. Maybe they didn't do much last turn though, so maybe we don't do that. That's tough. That's tough. Because they do have you know what, we'll just swing. It's hard to say if that's like actually the right kind of play to do here, is to knock out or to reset step their hand away. Just because like they do have a pretty large hand, but we would just send them back down to 7. So I mean, it is tough to say, and that's fine. They can set that up as much as they want. We just need to get our Heatran out the deck, and then Heatran can take care of the Zamazenta V. So we're not too worried about the Zamazenta V here. So we'll see exactly if they can get the alter creation off here, but I don't think they will be able to. So far we're sitting in a decent, kind of hand here. I wouldn't say it's too bad. This is actually fine. There's not really much we could work with in this hand, so I guess the Marnie is actually okay here. At least we still have the Eldegoss in the deck, so there's that. Possibly something good. Okay, so we do have the Heatran. We can get the Heatran if they do bring up the Zamazenta. All we have to do is just kindly just retreat. Yeah, we'll just attach one to Centiskorch. We'll retreat and we'll actually be okay here. We'll take one off the Volcanion. We'll actually bump the Chaotic Swell here as well. Get that out of play, and they just scoop. All right, so the deck is interesting. That's pretty much all I can really say about it. Centiskorch is Centiskorch. It's difficult to kind of gauge how great it is. Like I said, a lot of people did believe that the deck fell off after a numerous amount of time. A lot of people thought it would be up there, and as far as tier 1, tier 2, it's probably around tier 3 most likely. But yeah, no, it's an interesting deck. Here's a list again for those that want to kind of check it out, or you can go to the Limitless website. I'll probably put the deck list and all other winners down there in the description as well. But that's kind of it for this. Go ahead, try out the deck. Tell me what y'all think about it. See if you enjoyed it. Like I said, it did win the Limitless Online tournament the other day, so there's that. It does have that going for it. But that's it for this video. Hopefully y'all enjoyed it. Hit that like button, subscribe, all those great things, and catch you on the next one. Peace.